He's the #1 light heavyweight on the planet in Bellator. We flew him all the way from New Jersey to feed him pasta. It's Corey Anderson on this week's Food Truck Diaries. It's Corey Anderson. What's up, big dog?
What's going on?
What's up, champ?
Chilling, man. Out here in LA, loving this weather.
Yeah, it's nice, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
A little different. Jersey's nice right now, right?
It's starting to cool. It just got a cold front, last week, 2 weeks ago, so it's about 60 now, 60 and 50s.
And it gets cold out there.
Not as much as Illinois, but it's cold for y'all.
That's true. Illinois is your hometown.
It's like -8 in like a couple weeks down there.
Keep that. When I do like the Schaumburg Improv and snowing, it's a nightmare in Chicago.
Oh, man.
Good food, though.
Oh, yeah. Chicago pizza.
Hell yeah, dog. How you feeling, man? And I was saying this because I watched your fight, which amazing performance against Ryan Bader. Obviously, you were in the UFC, went to Bellator. You know, you fought some tough guys in Bellator. You know, you're getting kind of, you know, your beak wet in Bellator. And then you get Ryan Bader, who's been a perennial monster, you know, talking about a heavyweight champion, light heavyweight champion. So I was like, man, this is a tough fight for Corey, man. This is the first kind of test in Bellator. To me, this was like the first fight to see if the decision to go to Bellator is the right choice.
I mean,
is that too much?
I wouldn't say it's too much, but at the same time, at the beginning, like I said, with the pressure thing, Josh Thompson, everybody, Corey's got to feel pressure, blah, blah, blah. To be honest, I felt more pressure when I was in the UFC with dealing with that. Dane and everybody's like, you got to sell yourself, you got to be promotable. And I'm never that kind of guy. I'm a country boy from Illinois, grew up on the farm.
Humble.
Work hard and that's it. I don't try to show out.
Win fights.
Exactly. That's how I was taught. I used to train with Matt Hughes.
Yep.
And that's how I got into it. He told me wrestling MMA is the same. You win, you take that guy's spot, you move forward. Then by the time I got there, it wasn't that way anymore. It's you win, but you got to sell and you got to promote.
The business changed.
Yeah, so when I got to Bellator and I talked to Scott Coker and he said, we had a meeting here in California. He's like, you come here, you do what you're supposed to do, you ain't got to worry about nothing else. You win, you move forward. And that took all the pressure off me because I can go back to being me for the first time in like 4 or 5 years. That's for when I was in the UFC. I was trying to put on this persona to be exciting, to get the fans behind me so I can move closer to a title fight.
Yeah, it's just different. And also the UFC, you know, they're running a business, so I get their side of things where, you know, Conor McGregor blows up, takes the sport to another level. He's the highest paid combat sports athlete of all time. And they're like, well, this is what people want to see. So, hey, guys, let's do this. But it's natural to him. So for you other guys where it's not natural, you saw a lot of guys. And I appreciate you never sold out. You know, it's like you never gone there and did like some hot WWE promo or some shit like that. Like you just won fights. And like, what are we doing, man? Like, let's line up the fighters. So when we came to Bellator, it's always tricky, man, because it's different. A lot of UFC guys, and everyone say, oh, Bellator's just as good as UFC, or one championship just as good as UFC. And there's certain guys in every organization that are just as good. But when you cross over, a lot of those guys who were UFC superstars went to Bellator, they weren't in their prime. So we didn't know where Bellator was at. But with you, you're in your prime. So when you cross over, and Phil Davis is in his prime, so when you guys cross over, to me, it's from a fan's perspective, I feel like there's more pressure on you guys to represent, you know, the level that you're at. And Ryan Bader is at the highest level. You're talking about 2 division weight champion. He's beat everybody. So for you to beat him in that fashion, that knockout in the first round, I was like, man, I bet he feels like, yeah, bitches, it was the right choice. Like, this was the right choice. Look what I just did. Now I'm fighting for a world title against Nemkov, who's a monster. Like, I told you guys this was the right choice. Yeah. To me, that, like, solidified you making the right decision.
Yeah, after the first one, I kind of knew I made the right choice when the financial aspect came through, you know?
Really?
And we talked, I got the family, got the kids.
Yeah.
When you see what you're getting paid, and I was like, okay, that was the right choice for the financial aspect.
Gotcha.
Then the next fight against the Yags guy who was a killer over in Russia and hadn't lost in like 7 years. And everybody like, oh, you can see the media. Everybody like, oh, this guy's gonna kill Corey. Like, I was the underdog going into it. So I'm like, this guy's really that tough.
Yeah.
And I go out there and beat him. I was like, well, he's a top guy still. And I did that. And after that, I was like, okay, the competition's still the same. It's still the higher, not as high of a reward or risk, but the reward is higher.
Yeah.
You know, so risk versus reward. Then after the Ryan Bader fight, that's when it was really like, okay, everything paid off. Like you said, I just beat the former 2-belt champ, the heavyweight champ. I got the bag with it, and now I'm going for the belt. You know, that's what it's all.
Yeah, what's
about.
up?
You know, get paid and get the belt. That's what I'm here for.
So with Bellator, their business plan, I don't know as well as the UFC, their business plan is there's no pay-per-view models, nothing like that. It's you get this is what you're getting paid, win, your show money, your win money, and that's what it is. There's no incentives, anything like that. So you're making more money doing that.
Exactly. And with the UFC, with the incentives and all that, a lot of people say, oh, you got the pressure, you want to fight for the bonus. I never really went out trying to get a bonus, And the one fight I did go out trying to be anything was the last fight with Jan Blocker.
Yeah.
Because I remember what they told me, in order to get a title fight, you got to be exciting. You got to get the crowd behind you.
Yeah.
After the Johnny Walker fight, I had the crowd behind me. So much, the momentum shifted so much. I gained probably 40,000 followers after that fight. So I'm thinking if I go out here and get another devastating knockout and not go out here and wrestle like I do and just win, they can't deny me a title fight now. This is number 3 versus number 4.
Yep.
It has to happen. So I went out there trying to strike with him, and that cost me. But if I went out there and just stuck to the game plan and did
doing what you
Corey
do
does,
best, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I did the first fight, just take him down and just maul him for 3 rounds.
Which you did.
Yeah, you couldn't say anything about it. There's nobody else left in front of me but the champ.
Yeah.
But
you felt pressure to put on
exactly. I felt pressure.
That's not you.
And on top of that, on the way out, I remember seeing Jon Jones sitting right there, and all of a sudden my mind just switched. Like, this is the goal. I got to kill this dude to get to him. And that's the wrong mindset to have. I never go into a fight trying to kill anybody.
No.
I just go out there just to win. I go out there and do what I do, the way I do, like Mark Henry says every fight. Go have fun, you're going to be victorious because you always yourself. And I went out there and stirred away from that, and it cost me.
Yeah, you're tough to beat when you're fighting like Corey wants to fight.
Exactly.
You're very tough to beat.
I mean, I think the prime example is my fight against Glover Teixeira. That was 2-week notice, but like Mark said, like, you just go do you. Do what you got to do. You train every day. You don't need a camp. You go out there and do you. You're going to go out there and dominate. And I killed him for 3 rounds. Never even came close. So
you whooped his ass.
Yeah. On 2-week notice.
On 2-week notice, which is nuts. I feel like after that Johnny Walker fight, to me, that you showed your personality in that. You seemed like, I guess, more hyped after that. Did you feel like maybe they're trying to not set you up, but it was like obviously Johnny Walker, especially at the time, he's kind of, he's the poster boy a little bit, and you starch him. And I remember you saying something to the camera. You seemed pretty fired up about that.
I wouldn't say that showed my personality, but that showed my frustration, 100%. That was all because that whole week, like if you've seen the Embedded, they had Johnny Walker on all the time. The one time they showed me was checking in. They had him behind me. I remember heading to do weigh-ins or media or something. He was standing behind me making faces, and they had him. And my coach tapped me, like, the clown behind you, just look at it. And the cameras was all on him. You see the way they was hyping him up. And when I met with Hunter Campbell before the fight, before we signed the deal, like, why can't I get a title fight? And he said, you don't have the media. But if you fight Johnny Walker and you win, you might get it. And I said, but if he beats me, he gets a guaranteed title shot, right? He's like, yes. Like, that makes no sense. Like,
especially the work you've put in.
Yeah, and the kid wasn't even ranked at the time.
No, yeah.
And it was like all that had built up. So after I knocked him out and did that, I went over to Mick Maynard and all of them and gave him the middle finger and said, I told you I made no sense.
Yeah.
And then flicked the whole crowd off, and that was just all the frustration.
That makes sense.
But 5 minutes later, after I calmed down, I went to Johnny Walker. I apologized to him and his team. I went to social media, apologized to my coaches and my family, because that's not who I am. Like I said, I'm a country boy. We were never raised that way. You just go out there, you do your job, and be humble. You can celebrate, but you don't go out there and be unsportsmanlike.
That's the wrestler's way also.
100%. Everything I did was unsportsmanlike. I know my coaches was not, they were shaking their head at it. They were happy, but they frowned upon because they didn't raise me that way.
Yeah, they know that's not what you do.
Exactly. And even the coaches, like, they were excited, but after they was like, man, you got to live out of character. But a couple of my coaches are excited.
You're flipping off everybody.
Yeah, because all over the media, like, Corey Schmidt gets his brain splattered all over the cage. Corey has no right to be in the cage with Johnny Walker. And I was right across the street from one of the gyms I trained at, Henzo Gracie, and everybody there booed me. It's like, yo, I train across the street.
Insane.
Like, I train right next door, and y'all really
That makes sense, though, the animosity and probably just built inside, like, I'm going to show you what's up.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially the way you took him out.
100%. I was like, I'm going to show you how great I am. I posted that video of Muhammad Ali before. Like, I'm going to show you how great I am. Yeah,
and I think your track record speaks to that, because now you're ranked #1 in Bellator at light heavyweight. And, before you came here, I was looking over your record. I mean, God, Glover Teixeira, Jan Blachowicz, Johnny Walker. Like, you look at these guys that you've beat, man, these monsters, Pat Cummins, monster. But you look at the guys fighting this in UFC 267 for the title shot, you beat both of them pretty handedly. So I think when you said I'm the best light heavyweight on earth, if people, like the hardcores, like, yeah, there's argument there, but if you're just like a casual, you're like, nah, come on, man, you're not as good as Jan or whatever, John. But it's like, if you look at your track record, like, no, there's an argument there, man. There's definitely an argument.
Well, like you said, the hardcores, they know. I get those that message me like, bro, it's legit. I do media, and they're like, yo, you could be, depending on this fight, if Jan loses, you're arguably the best, because It's just you three at the top, you, John, and Glover. Well, then you got Nemkov, but he's not really fought those guys yet.
No, he hasn't.
But the thing is, they don't, like you said, I don't have that promotion. When I was in the UFC, they never promoted that. Did you know when I did the media for the John Blachowicz, how many of the media didn't even know this was a second fight?
Yeah.
Like, we keep saying the second fight. Like, why do they call it a second fight?
Yeah.
Like, we fought before.
Yeah.
But it was never showed because it wasn't exciting. I went out there and just took him down and elbowed him and ground and pounded him.
Even though
for 3
that's
rounds.
the story, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But they don't show that. They show the highlights. They show the stuff that's gonna get fans like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah. It's like human cockfight. You know, if the two chickens go out there and just dance, they don't want to see that. But you go out there and they pecking, they go to somebody show blood or get knocked out, they talking about it. It's viral.
Is there any part of you now that you're with Bellator, I'll see the chance of you fighting Jon Jones are out the window, you know, especially with whatever he's got going on right now, and then eventually you'll figure that legal stuff out and go to heavyweight. Is there a part of you that wanted to test yourself against Jon? He's considered, you know, the GOAT.
I mean, 100%. I always want to fight the best in the world, you know, to prove I am the best in the world. But at the same time, part of me is kind of, it's your past, you know? Like I always say, can't cry over spilled milk. There's two people that's going to spill the bowl, and they're going to sit there and cry about it. They're going to clean up and pour another bowl. I just cleaned up and went and got another bowl, and I'm happy with my bowl now.
Yeah, your bowl seems pretty nice, man.
Pretty full, pretty hefty.
Yep, pretty heavy and also pretty expensive, too. You're buying some nice cereal, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is probably not as good as the cereal you're eating, but we got a Italian food truck for you. So let me feed you. You're not fighting. Do we have a date on your fight against Nemkov?
Not yet. My manager said probably end of January, but I'm training regardless.
All right, dope. So let me feed you. We won't put too much weight on you, and then we'll continue this, man.
Sounds good.
Let's do it. Let's take a little break from this food truck with Corey Anderson, because listen, guys, the holidays are coming up. A lot of y'all boys are hairy out there. I see you on the road. You got bushes. I can tell underneath those jeans, you got them 70 bushes. You need to trim up. You need to let my friends at Manscaped help you out. Also, ladies, I have a huge female audience. And I know you guys are watching this right now. So for your men's out there, get them the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. They need it, man. Over 2 million bros worldwide trust Manscaped. And you get 20% off and free shipping with the code FOODTRUCK by going to manscaped.com. Again, it's the holidays. Get the freaking, the whole package, man. Yeah, they call it the perfect package for your package. We're talking about the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker, get the hair out of your nose, your ears, the nose trimmer, the Crop Preserver, Crop Reviver. We got Performance Boxer Briefs and a little travel bag to put all that in there. So when you're on the road and you got to shave down, we got you covered, man. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code FOODTRUCK at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code FOODTRUCK at manscaped.com. Be thankful this holiday season for the best gift of all from Manscaped. Your balls will thank you. January 1st, 2022 is coming up. Hey, you thickies out there, I know you're trying to lose weight and you're waiting for January 1st. What you waiting for? Maybe you don't want to go to the gym because they make you wear a mask, or you just want to be around people because they're gross. I get it, man. You don't want to talk to people. You want to lose weight? You want a great workout from the comfort of your home? I do it on my freaking garage like a madman. I'm talking about Peloton. Peloton bikes, man. Peloton bikes. It's the best way to get your thick ass in shape. They got classes 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 45 minutes. They got cardio for days on there, all stages. If you're a beginner, you're trying to get in crazy shape, get ready for some sort of marathon bike ride, they got it all, man. They got great instructors. My favorite's Robin. I ride with Robin all the time, all right? They got great music, curated playlists, hip hop, classic, country, whatever you're looking for, we got you covered, man. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more. Try Peloton classes for free for the rest of the year. New members only. Visit onepeloton.com/app to learn more. Terms apply. Peloton, when your workout is a joy, it's a joy to work out. How you doing, boss?
Good, boss.
Good to see you, man. What do you recommend?
Our best seller, the best we got is the bolognese.
Oh, you got all the noodles.
Yeah, man, I got all the goodies.
I'll do the bolognese on this one.
With the rigatoni? Yeah.
Let me get that lobster ravioli you were just talking about.
Yeah, I got you, man.
Let's take another break with chatting with Bellator's finest, Corey Anderson, because a lot of y'all using the internet out there. A lot of y'all doing weird searches. You want your mom to know what you're searching for out there? You dirty boys. That's why you need to get ExpressVPN, man. You don't have to worry about people looking at all your searches, none of that stuff, all right? Everybody needs ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN creates secure, encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet, so your online activity can't be seen by anyone. Not your aunt, not some Russian, none of that stuff, man. It's easy as closing the bathroom door. Fire up the app, click on one little button. It's rated #1 by CNET and Tech Radar. It works on phones, laptops, even routers, so everyone who shares your Wi-Fi can be protected, all right? So secure your online activity by visiting expressvpn.com/foodtruck today. That's expressvpn.com/foodtruck. You can get an extra 3 months free, expressvpn.com/foodtruck. This episode of Food Truck is also brought to you by the best CBD on the planet. Listen, CBD is so hot right now. Everybody wants to try it. But can you really trust where it comes from? Can you? I got one you can trust. I'm talking about feels, all right? CBD isn't about what you feel. It's about what you don't feel. CBD naturally helps reduce stress, anxiety, pain. You have trouble sleeping, we got you covered with Feels CBD. Feels is a premium CBD that will help keep your head clear and feel your best, all right? It's hassle-free, delivered right to your freaking door. Again, CBD naturally helps reduce stress, anxiety, pain, sleepiness. I use it every single night. It's well documented. My entire family uses it. We swear by CBD, but just not any CBD. Feel CBD. You gotta trust where it's coming from, man, all right? And if you got some questions, Feels offers a free CBD hotline to help guide you on your journey through CBD. That's fun. Call them, all right? Joining Feels monthly membership makes your self-care easy. You'll save money on every single order. You can pause it, cancel whenever you want. So start feeling better with Feels. Become a member today by going to feals.com/foodtruck, and you'll get 50% off your entire order and free shipping. All right, my man, we got some heavy pasta here. It is thick pasta, dude. Now, you have good pasta in Jersey. I've had pasta in Jersey. You guys do Italian right out there.
Yeah, pasta in Jersey is good, but I got a Sicilian wife, so it's better at home.
Oh, damn. She home cooking?
Oh, yeah. She can make pasta out of anything.
And she's Sicilian.
Oh, yeah. Sicilian.
So you might shit on this.
I mean, I'm sure it's going to be good.
Yeah.
It ain't never going to be either that or my mom. My mom makes some brown sugar spaghetti. Fuego.
Brown sugar spaghetti? It's
Boy.
nice.
Sprinkle that sugar.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Fire.
All right, well, man, this is a lot to live up to. Good thing this isn't my truck. But at least they were Italian, though. They were super Italian, which is always a good sign with food trucks, man. It's nice.
The lobster mac is pretty good.
Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, you're out of camp now, but you're always training. You don't, like, blow up between the fights, do you? You don't seem like the type of guy to...
No. I'm take a week off, enjoy some food, a couple drinks, whatever. And right back at it. Was back in the gym Monday, trying to get my weight back under control.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't get that heavy. I got to like 235.
You're a lean guy in general. It's
Yeah.
not like...
Well, now, I wasn't always this way. The reason why I have to work out so much is because of my past, you know? I used to be 300 pounds, so if I stopped training for more than a
Ruben
week...
stuttered. You used to be 300
Yeah,
pounds?
297.8 was the heaviest.
That is fantastic.
So if I stopped training for too long, it'd come back quick.
300?
300.
What were you doing with your life?
And I was training. I was a college athlete. I was lifting. That time I broke my leg, so I couldn't wrestle. I was lifting and eating everything like I should. And it's eating my whole family. My dad's side of the family is just all big people.
Big.
So, yeah.
Big
From
bone.
St. Louis, eating Chinese food, fried chicken, snoots,
Those
you know.
Lizzo
different-
vibes. 300, man, that's insane.
Yeah.
But were
I
you
didn't
like
make
a
205 until I went to Ultimate Fighter. I was heavyweight until the Ultimate Fighter
were
came.
you like a TLC 300? You know what I'm saying? Like my 600-pound light 300?
No, I wasn't fluffy. I had like a solid gut.
you were big.
But I was like thick,
Oh man.
like a Bob Sapp thick.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That sounds lit.
I was never like that strong.
Yeah.
But I was always like a thicker body. Like now, like everybody, oh, you're small for 205, but then you see me from the side, I'm still thick.
Yeah, you're thick.
Yeah.
You're long too.
Yeah.
You're long.
Real long legs. My legs and my ass was always
Yeah.
the cake. You know, everything. was there.
Yeah, that's the money maker. That's the farmer in you, man.
Yeah, when I was a college wrestler, I was talking about going to 197. One of my coaches was like, "That's fine, but you lose your ass, you're losing your scholarship." It's like, yeah,
That's where all the power comes from,
exactly.
man.
That's why your shots are so good. Like you lose that, I don't really need you much anymore.
So, but for you like growing up, your goal wasn't to be a fighter. From my understanding, you're wrestling, and you got connected with Ben Askren. Tell me if I'm off on this. You got connected with Ben Askren, and he was like, hey, come to practice. And he thought it was going to be wrestling practice. It was actually MMA practice, and that's all. I mean, off to the races after that.
Yep. Well, I took second in the country my senior year in college. And I qualified for the Junior Olympics. So I was trying to continue to do that. And I asked Ben and a couple of my other coaches that had wrestled Olympics to train me. So I was going to different schools, and Ben was like, yeah, I work with you. And he texted me, they're like, yeah, come to this gym. I'm thinking it's going to be wrestling practice. I show up with just my wrestling clothes, my wrestling shoes, and I walk in, it's Rufus Sport, like Anthony Pettis and all those guys in there.
The gym.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And he was like, well, I want you to try it. You know, before you say you don't want to fight, just give it a try, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Because did they ask you before? You're like, no, I'm good.
Nobody ever said anything to me. It was just about wrestling. That's all I was focused on was wrestling. That's all I had been doing since 3rd grade. I did boxing, you know, as rehab, did a few amateur fights because I broke my leg, and my brother-in-law was a professional boxer. But he was like, I think you'll just be good, man. Just give it a try. I didn't try it that day. I ended up leaving. I remember the next day, the whole ride home was like an hour and a half drive to get home. And the whole time I'm like, man, I can't believe I didn't try the opportunity. That's an opportunity just to try something new, you know? So the next morning I woke up, fired up my motorcycle, shot up to Milwaukee, hour and a half. I get there, and Duke Cruz was like, oh, glad you came back. It's sparring day.
Oh, damn.
You know, I've box sparred many times. But when you get kicks and stuff involved, something I've never done.
Did they allow takedowns that day or just, all right?
You got to do takedowns, but I didn't understand that. You know, I'm used to just boxing. I put the gloves on, I'm throwing punches, and I started with Anthony Pettis, you know, just to see what kicks are like. He started chopping my leg.
Monster.
I'm like, what? He kicked me. He's like, yeah, you can wrestle, take him down. The first time I took him down, like, all right, you're too big. Go with this guy. I went with Ben Askren, and it was back and forth with striking and wrestling. He got the better of me. It was a heavyweight guy. All right, now you've been here for 2 rounds. Go with that guy. And he said, do everything you've done now.
But do it against that
Just do it against that guy. And I just mauled, like, just punched him. I was throwing ugly kicks, but I was taking him down, just grounding pounding. Like, I hate to tell it to you. You say you're not a fighter. But you're a fighter.
Yeah, 100%.
And he said it then, like, I can tell you right now, in 3 fights, you can be in the UFC. Like, in 3 fights, you're naturally athletic where you can be in the UFC. And I'm sure it just worked out that way.
In 3 fights, you're on Ultimate Fighter?
3 fights, I went to Ultimate Fighter, yeah. And then won that, and the rest
Similar career path to me. I didn't win it, but I was a finalist, but only had 3 fights and went to Ultimate Fighter. Mm-hmm. How was your experience on Ultimate Fighter?
I loved it. You know, it was actually a great thing for me because my girl I was with a long time just broke up with me right before I left, and it was kind of like vacation to get away from. No phone, I have to check my phone.
You have to be focused.
Yeah, it wasn't wondering if she texting me, is she gonna call me? So when I was on there, it was nothing to worry about. It was just to be here, you know, away from all that, and I just gotta focus on this. This is gonna help me forget about that. And this is the reason why I'm gonna win this, you know, just go back and start a new life. And it just happened to work out that way.
God dang, man, did it work out.
Yeah, it worked out.
I think a lot of guys in Ultimate Fighter, for those, you know, like you're stuck in the house for 6 weeks. Yeah, you have no communication outdoor world. And
Can't
you just
read nothing. Can't listen to nothing.
Nothing. You're just there. Because they want chaos. So, you know, they want to try and break your will. To me, it was like more. Obviously, you got to be physically gifted and know how to fight. But there was probably more skilled guys in the house than me. But to me, the guys who were weak-minded, those were the guys I wanted to fight. I'd go after those guys. The guys that were like, oh, I miss my mom, or they'd complain about the food or something, you know, that back home. I'm like, those are the guys I want to fight. Because they're not going to last 6 weeks. So it's more of a mental test, I think.
And that was the thing. I've always been a mentally strong kid, you know. This is my whole life. Just the way my father raised me. Actually, that was one of the stories that won my wife over. I was talking about the experience. I was telling how I broke my nose on the show. When everybody would be in the kitchen talking and party or drink, whatever, I would walk outside to the freezer, break ice off, put it in a bag, and put it in my shirt, and then go in the room and just underneath the cover, ice my nose, and nobody could see.
Because you didn't want them to know.
I didn't want nobody to know my nose was messed up, because if somebody see that, they're gonna try to fight me, they're gonna hit it.
Yeah.
So I'm like hanging in the room till the ice would melt, and I was throwing the trash and head out there with everybody else.
Yeah.
Like every injury I had, I would like try to hide it. When everybody was doing something, like go out the back door and then walk back into the room, ice my leg and whatever. My wife like, man, that is so sick. Like the fact that you just kept doing, never told anybody.
No,
like the coaches knew, but nobody else knew.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I've always, with everything going on back home and the injuries, and it's just kind of like, I'm not going home.
No.
Like even the medic, like, do you want to get your nose fixed? We can send you home. Like, I'm not going home.
Yeah, we have a similar mindset there. I used to take joy when I'd see some of the guys who, you know, the guys that would lose would, you know, get hammered and do the thing, but the guys who were still able to compete would also get hammered. I used to get joy out of seeing them party, and I was the same. I'd be icing my knee, my leg, just thinking about, like, the next fight. And to me, it was a sign of weakness.
Exactly. And that's the thing in MMA, in any sport, pretty much. You got to be mentally strong, and a sign of weakness is something somebody's going to capitalize on right away. If you can't stay focused, you can't stick to the game plan, You know, that was the thing with me. I was blessed to meet Todd Monaghan, who was a preacher on the show. Now I'm a big church goer and I always read my Bible. So every morning having him there, wake up in the morning, see him, it made me stay in my Bible.
Yeah.
I read my Bible at night,
focused.
take notes, take notes to practice. And it would keep me from going out there and trying to party with the crowd.
Yep.
Trying to fit in with everybody else because Todd was like me. We didn't fit in with everybody else. So he would know if I'm in the room, I'm probably reading the Bible or by myself.
Yep.
And that helped me just stay focused on the goal. You know, 2 things I was worried about: myself, my faith, and this fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, with Ultimate Fighter, did they give you guys journals?
Yeah, they gave us the notebook. Yep.
Yeah, I had the journal. I remember, my dad has it at his house, and I was just a kid. I didn't know really what was going on, but I thought as long as I make to the finale, which is true, your life does change. I remember, like, halfway through when, people were thinking about quitting or they don't want to be there, Dana stopped our truck and was like, I'm telling you, this is the biggest Ultimate Fighter we've ever had. This can be the biggest we've ever had. The 2 of you that make to the finale, you guys, you're gonna be superstars instantly. I remember he said that, I'm like, God, I just gotta make it 3 more weeks, man. My journal, I went back when I was at home a few months ago, I was on tour in Denver. I went back to my home and my dad had the journal, I was reading through it. I mean, you would have thought I was gonna turn to Floyd Mayweather if I made it to the finale. The stuff I was writing on there about buying and things I was gonna do, it's like, bitch, you are not gonna be on a private plane to Paris. Like, this is not, the Ultimate Fighter does not work that way.
But see,
it's funny to read now,
But that's the wolf ticket Dana sells you, though, because I remember comes like Josh Koscheck, he did his show, he got private jets, he got the mansion, everything else, so everybody in there hyped up.
Yeah.
So I can see probably why you're like, oh, I'm about to go buy me a Benz.
That's exactly why.
That.
Josh Thompson, like, he's doing all access, like we're saying, just be. He's on these private jets, like flying around. I'm like, oh, I'm about to get paid.
He said this whole dream of a wolf ticket.
Yeah.
And lucky for me, I've never been a big spender. I've always been a basic. I drive
You're
used
so
cars.
country, man. I love it. You're so country.
To this day, I just bought the first newer truck, 2001, but it was used after I got my first Bellator check.
Yeah.
The comment was like, with the money, we got to spend it now.
Yeah.
But I had like a used 2003 and 2014 truck before that, and I never wanted to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like you said, you get your mind set, and in my journal, I still got the journal to this day. It's on top of my refrigerator.
Yeah.
Like I know exactly where it is. And I remember one side was like emotional, to keep my emotions from breaking out on camera. I write down whatever emotions I had and how I felt about the teammates or who I see on the other side, what they do in the house, like who I'm targeting. And the other side was all the notes from training. Yep. So it'd be broken in 2 sessions. Morning session with Mark, we learned this, we learned that. And the second session with jiu-jitsu, Ricardo worked this and worked that. So every day I would go over it. So now I know, remember what this guy was saying or doing in the room. So I know he's probably not gonna be ready if he gotta make weight. And then I'm always reviewing what I gotta work on. Okay, Mark showed me this, so I'm gonna work this outside in the pool, just shadow box this, or practice my jiu-jitsu in the room with Ian or whoever.
I love it. Like the way you approach Ultimate Fighter and the way you approach your career now, but also on Ultimate Fighter, remember, when you're on Ultimate Fighter, for the most part, you're still amateur. Like some guys have pro fights, I have pro fights, but that's like when you're on Ultimate Fighter, that's more of a professional atmosphere, and it's very rare. Maybe now kids do, but it's very, very rare you see guys treat it like a professional. Like I just remember that was the first time I felt like an actual professional. Writing notes, eating well, sleeping well, making sure my training, I would monitor my ice baths, everything.
Yeah, the eating well was a big shocker to me because I was eating ramen noodle and chunky noodle soup and stuff.
Before you went in there?
Yeah, that's what I was eating whatever. And I go to the Brazilian there, Diego Lima, he's back in the UFC now after the second stint of the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah, he showed me how to make like the jasmine rice. And I had never cooked a steak like on the grill. And he showed me how to cook it right. And he showed me all kinds of different ways to prepare stuff. And the ice baths I've been doing since college. So that I was trying to show them like, yo, I said ice bath like nothing. Like, yo, how do you do this? Like this.
I've been doing this for years. Yeah, same. I get my 5-year-old doing ice baths now. He loves it, man.
My son, he'll jump in the cold water. I won't put the ice in. We stay in the cold water.
He likes
together.
the ice. Yeah, we go full go because he saw Tom Brady doing it. Just so you guys know, with Ultimate Fighter, the way it works is every morning there's a list, and you can write literally whatever you can think of. King crab legs, flaming young, carne asada, shrimp, whatever you can put it on a list, and it shows up that afternoon. It's
like
ridiculous.
You snap your fingers, it's all of a sudden in the refrigerator, in the cabinets. I think that was probably the leanest I've ever been. Every morning I'll wake up, have 4 eggs, like some breakfast sausage in it, like make a skillet. And at lunch I would have sushi. So I had like 3 or 4 things of sushi. Yeah. And then every day for dinner was I would put the biggest T-bone steak you can find
Love it.
and a bison steak. And then Diego would make the rice, and I would just eat that every day. Same thing
You eat
throughout the whole
good,
show.
man.
Oh yeah, I don't eat junk much.
I love hearing that you had a good experience on Ultimate Fighter, because you hear a lot of guys saying how bad it was, how terrible. Oh, they edit it, so I look back, I'm like, you might just be an asshole, dude.
Yeah,
That might be
that's
the
just
first time
you.
you've seen yourself on TV. And when they're like, oh, it was so bad, I'm like, it was kind of dope, man.
Yeah.
It was a good atmosphere, man.
It depends on how you look at yourself. You
Agreed.
know, if you picture yourself as some awesome, amazing guy, then when
They
you see
see
on the
it,
show,
yeah.
you see people reacting like, yo, this dude's a dickhead. It's like, well, you're making me paint out to a
Just
bad
the way
guy.
it was edited, it's like, no,
Like,
you
no,
said
that's
that,
just
bro.
you,
Yeah,
bro.
that's you
That's
full
you.
time, bro. You just never see
100%.
yourself on camera. Well, but we got to have you break down your fight with Nemkov, man. Obviously, before you go, you know, guy's a monster. You know, he's been doing work out there. How do you think you match up?
I think we match up really well. Like I've said before, we kind of got similar styles, but kind of everybody says, oh, he's Sambo, so he's really good at wrestling. But no, when you think about Sambo, you got two styles. You either got striking or you got really good wrestlers. You got Khabib, who's a Sambo champ, really good wrestler, not so great striking.
Yep.
Then you got Nemkov, who is really good striking. He's got decent wrestling, but it's not like to mine or Khabib's.
It's not your level, no.
Exactly. So I think it matchups well because he moves a lot and he has great cardio, but his cardio doesn't last as long as mine. You know, he can.
Especially if you're shooting in. And
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like he can go at a high rate. Like you said, his only loss in well, not his only loss, but his loss the guy that's in UFC now, Jiri, whatever.
Oh, Yuri.
He gassed
Yeah.
himself out.
Yeah.
He dominated. If you watch him, he dominated
Yeah.
for 10 minutes.
And Yuri's a tough
But he
customer.
couldn't get up.
Yeah.
Jiri just didn't go away. He couldn't answer the bell because he wore himself out. And that's the thing. He comes out hard and fast. Like I described him as a hot pocket.
Yep.
You put it in the microwave, come on hot at first. You touch it like, you can't touch it.
Let it cool
But give
off.
it a little time. Let it cool off.
Yeah.
Go ahead and eat it up.
Yep.
It's the same thing. He's going to come out like a ball of fury. I'm
Yep.
pretty sure of it.
That's
I'm
what he
confident.
does.
That's
Yeah.
him. He try to overwhelm you. He's throwing the punches. He moves. He throw kicks on the angle. He can throw punches with a kick right behind it. But if I just stay composed and stay sharp, you know, and just wait my turn. Whether
your
it's to
thing.
him, land
Yeah.
my shots when they're there, and just don't rush anything and just let it happen. You know, that's how I just fight. And I just feel like if he tries to shoot, I'm definitely gonna win the wrestling battle. You know, I think I'm a
agree
lot
with that,
bigger
yeah.
than him. I feel like I'm a lot thicker, a lot heavier. Like
Yeah.
after we fill back up, he's not the biggest. He's cut,
Yeah.
but he's not the biggest 205er.
Also, you look at the resumes, and it's not a knock on him, it's just opportunity and where he's been fighting. You look at the guys, the caliber guys you've been fighting. I always focus a lot on guys' experience and the history and the level of difficulty that they fought. And you fought some fucking monsters, man.
Mm-hmm.
And beat them.
Exactly, and beat him. Like you said, and I've done it at a young age and a young platform. I had 3 fights going to Ultimate Fighter.
Yep.
And I fought those guys on Ultimate Fighter and then jumped right into the big leagues. I had the Matt Van Buren in the finale, this guy Justin Jones, and Gian Vellante who was ranked 15th.
Yeah.
And I went from Gian Vellante to Jan Blachowicz. After
Yeah.
I got knocked out by Gian Vellante, and I got cleared, Jan Blachowicz needed an opponent. I stepped up to fight him on 4 weeks' notice, and out there and beat him. Then, you
He
know,
almost got cut after that.
yeah, exactly. And I've never, after I've lost to Jan, I had one guy that wasn't ranked in the top 10.
Yeah.
You know, so my whole career was top 15.
Fighting dogs.
Murderer roles or whatever. And every time I was counted out, I just showed up and showed them I can do it.
That's what you do.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I always think back to Ultimate Fighter. Like I said, you said everybody there, some people are like amateurs, but some of those guys had like 10, 15 fights. I remember we was talking in a circle in the room. And how many fights you got? And I said 3. And everybody laughed. Oh, there's no way you're gonna win. You don't have enough experience.
Yeah.
How much you been paid? Like my biggest payday was like 3 and 3,
Yep.
300, 300.
Yep.
You know, and they was laughing. Oh, this kid, he's not gonna make it.
Yep.
And I win. And I talked to some of those guys to this day, like Eddie Gordon. He's like, bro, I remember Mark Henry was always talking to you. And I said, this ain't the Corey Anderson show. But it's like, look how far you came. I'm so proud of you to see
Yep.
you continue to be the same person with the same
guy.
mindset.
Yep.
Everything you said on the show, you did it. You never
Yep.
changed up. You
Yep.
said you're gonna do it, and you did it. And you held your own. And now it's like, now I've got 8 years in the game, and I fought the
have
who's
some
who's everybody
experience, man.
but Jon Jones and Alexander Gustafsson.
Yeah.
You know, I took my lumps and my losses, and everybody, oh, you've been knocked out by Jan, but y'all forgot
That
I beat
doesn't
the
mean-
shit out of him my 6th fight ever. I went out there and tried to fight a different way.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think too, you know, when it comes to, especially at the UFC level, the guys are so good. So the margin of error is so goddamn small.
small.
So when you're fighting those monsters night in, night out, sometimes that night in the office, it doesn't go your way. But luckily, I think the MMA fans, especially in UFC and Bellator, know, like, you know, first of all, MMA math doesn't work, but also, yeah, you're fighting really, really good guys. And maybe that just wasn't your night, but obviously when you fought him the first time, especially against Jan, that was your night. You know what I'm saying? You fight like you fight and you beat the shit out of them. You know, so I don't put too much in that stuff. I don't think fans do either. But what else are you gonna say? Well, that's why you got really good wrestling. You win all the time. You know what I'm saying?
They gotta knock you. They ain't gonna put you on a pedestal.
That's the social media world, my man.
Exactly. But it's like you said, you got your nights and you don't. But like I think about it all the time. You look at any of my losses. You can never look at my loss and Corey got his ass beat.
No.
I've always been caught.
Yep.
Even with Jimmy Manuel, the quickest knockout I had.
Hits
I'm
like
like,
a
yeah,
truck.
he hits like a truck. I made a mistake, you know? And I would say in that fight, that was the only time I was actually scared of a guy where I actually didn't think I should have been there.
Yeah.
So even though I never got my ass beat, he landed that one shot, knocked
It's that
me out.
hesitation,
Yeah.
especially with a guy like Jimmy Manuwa. But
Exactly.
also, that he lands that shot, I don't care, Jon Jones, anybody, Alexander Gustafsson, DC, they're all going to sleep.
He did the OSP, same folded OSP with the same hook. He's a
monster.
power guy.
Yeah.
When he got his feet set, he's bringing all that power from the ground through. And when he lands, he's usually going to fold.
It's going to be problems.
Yeah.
But I don't think we have to worry about that anymore, man. You're more focused. Again, you just outwork everybody. I think that's the takeaway. You just outwork at a world-class level. You outwork the world-class guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to it, man. I think it's a great matchup for you. I'm looking forward to the fight. Appreciate you coming all the way from New Jersey to eat pasta. I know it's not as good as your girl's cooking, man. Next time we do food truck, we're do it at your house, man. Tell your girl to strike up the grill. What's up, man?
You got to pay the wife, though. You pay the wife the right price, she'll do it.
Easy.
She love to cook.
Easy. I got you, dog. We'll give you that Bellator pay.
Sounds
We
good
got
to
it, man.
me.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate
Corey
you.
Anderson, everybody.